All right, this is for Thursday, November 7th. Might have been saying October on the last videos, but this is for November 7th. And this was just sim account stuff, one ASTI for breaking news, but which seems I never make money on. But here, this one is BIYA. It was I think that day it was the leading gainer. Very, it's a penny stock, 58 cents. Actually, I don't think it was even on the scanners because of how cheap it was. But set the stop loss down here. First pullback, 5-minute pullback. Came down here, got really close to VWAP, and I went ahead and said, "Let's do it," And we were kind of looking for 64 again on this. So let's kind of see what happens. So right now I'm looking for setups to where if we did make a high, can we make it back to the high, and what kind of risk reward do I have for making it back to that high? So here, just like I said, looking for around 64. There you go, we got 65. It blew through that pretty quickly, so I let it go. And I think I end up getting out here in just a minute. Just because I saw possible double top forming here. Just because I would rather see it like pop through that and not stall out like it's doing right now. But I think we do eventually get a pop through. So I get out right there, 65 for 57. And then we eventually make it up to almost 68, which was three more cents would have definitely got me up to that quote unquote $70 1-for-1 profit loss ratio. So that one was good setup. I got the 5-minute. I really don't have any complaints. Of course, it could have been a better, visually looking, could have probably been a better visually looking 5-minute setup. But so the next one was 903, and this one was on FTEL. I think this one had a crypto catalyst. I want to say 550 million. So I tried it once right here just because it was very strong here in the group that I'm with. Everybody was in on this or trying to get in on this pullback. I got in on the pullback of the VWAP and flushed lower, came back up, and I ended up taking a $14 loss on it. Real money. And this was not the 5-minute pullback. This was on a 1-minute chart, and I ended up, taking a small loss on it. But so here, this 5-minute pullback here, so we created a double bottom here at 280-ish. I went ahead and set my stop orders for the break of this and for anticipation. It broke before the end of the 5-minute candle because we still have 20 seconds left. So it broke right here in just a second and immediately gave me a couple cents there. So bam. So it immediately had resolution. So I was like, oh man, this is really strong here, and I should, in the future, I should recognize how strong a movement this is, because I got out way too early, as you can see here. So I got out around 350-ish, 365-ish probably. Got my $70 1-for-1, and it ended up going to over 5. So I could have got another $1.30 or 40 out of that. With, let's see how many shares I was trading here. 208 shares, so could have been over $200 more. Oh my gosh. Like, I should recognize how strong the move was and the immediate resolution through when I entered the trade, and that should give me a conviction to stay in longer. But hey, I'm happy with one for one. Uh, Definitely, got 2R for the day, which is two times my or 2% of my capital. Um, yeah, and this thing was ripping. But I mean, look at NAUI. This thing gave you, I need to find stocks like this where it gives you multiple setups. I mean, this NAUI is just an energy stock. It seems to be on the scanners like every day. But there's one, two, three setups right there that would have got you, 3%. And those are the ones I got to find instead of ones that are looking like this. So, um, I would say that I definitely want to go back to my live trading. So this is what BIYA ended up looking like. So if I definitely tried to stay in, it would be break even, or am I toying around with, do I scale out, do I scale in? Those are all the things. Now that I have a pretty okay setup here. Oh, I did take one more trade on Works here. I forgot about this one actually, now that I'm looking at it, because I remember getting in and getting immediately out, just because maybe I was up 2R and I wanted to protect that, and I didn't want to take another loss. But let's see how this thing works out. So the stop loss would have been basically down here at around 0.50, and we're still good here. We're still good there. Looks like I'm watching it. We're still good here. We're still good here. That this thing would have went up here. I mean, I don't know if I would have got out at this area right here, but looks like it rolls over. Looks like I stopped looking at it. Yeah, so it rolled over here. So I don't know if this move would have been close to one for one. So maybe getting out was a good idea, but I shouldn't have discretion for these setups here, because that's the whole point of doing it in the first place, is to not be discretionary, to just see the setup and get in, and that's it. So, but yeah, man, it's I look at charts now and I see all kinds of setups forming all the time. Now that I look at these, there's one right here. These are the ones. Hindsight's 2020, but man, this is so easy to get in and out of these, and they set up all the time. So trying to catch the right ones and figure out what's a good filter for getting in and out of these is a good idea as well. So